Hi Braille class and welcome back for our art lesson today. Okay, let's get started and remind ourselves whilst I'm getting our screen up, have a think about what we did last lesson. Can you remember? See. Okay, fantastic. Can you tell me what we did last lesson? That's right, we were painting our fruit, weren't we? In all of the different colours, and I saw some of your beautiful paintings on tapestry, and you'd used lots of different shades of your colour to create your fruit and to make it look really 3D and realistic. So today what we're doing is, can I paint a flower in the style of Georgia O'Keeffe? Good, fantastic. Okay, Georgia O'Keeffe. Fantastic. Now let's remind ourselves who Georgia O'Keeffe was. She was an artist from America who is famous for painting flowers. Good. And she was born in the year 1887 and died in 1986. See some pictures of Georgia here. So let's have a look at some of her paintings. I want you to have a think. What do you notice about them and what is interesting? Let's have a look. What do you notice? Can you tell me? Good, fantastic. She's used lots of different shading and she's not used a lot of colours. And we spoke about this last time, didn't we? She's used a little bit of green, different shades of green. She's used different shades of white. And you can see to make it look like 3D, she's created like a grey, greeny white colour in the middle. And that helps make it look like it's darker in the middle, then lighter as it's coming closer to you. Makes it look 3D, doesn't it? Let's have a look at this one. So we can see she's used only a few different colours, hasn't she? She's used the black in the middle for the poppy seeds, and then she's used red, just red. But you can see all of the detail of the petals by having a look, and she's used shading to create the detail. So over here you can see the bumpy ridge of the petal because she's created a really dark crimson red colour to create that. Whereas here, because it's further away from us, she's used lighter colours and she's kind of blended it there with a bit of yellow and a bit of orange. And you can see she's even included the creases of the petal and made those darker. Can you see? And here again, we've got, I think that might be lilies, and she's created lots of details, hasn't she? To make them look really 3D. She's done all these shapes. Can you see the shapes she's used? The curls of the petal to create those shapes. Oh, I like this one. It got very deep, like indigo colour almost, isn't it? Like a violet colour. And that's beautiful because you can see how the real detail of all of those petals she's done, because she's created lighter areas and darker areas. How do we create the darker areas? Can you remember? Good, we mix it with a tiny bit of black or colour to create a darker colour. Or we can also mix it with an even darker colour than that. So if I was doing purple, I might mix it with a tiny bit of blue and a tiny bit of black to make it really stand out. How do you think she's created these lighter areas in the middle? Good, I think she's mixed them with white too. You can see all the different shades. This is beautiful, isn't it? She's done all the curls of the petals. Oh, and here the daffodils as well with the crinkled edges, because not all the edges are round, are they? Can you see they're all different shapes and some are bent in, some are all crinkly. So when you're drawing, think carefully about those shapes. Beautiful, isn't it? This one is obviously a rounded flower because it's got round petals. But remember from our science lesson, we were looking at the flowers and were they all the same? No, they were all different shapes. Okay, so can you see how she created the flowers big? So this is her canvas here, which means canvas is what you paint on, type of material. And she's created the flower the same size as the canvas, and she's hardly done any leaves or any stem. She liked to do big pictures of flowers. And if you saw these in real life, they are huge. And you can see the colours are bright and vivid, and the background is sometimes coloured. So for our task today, what you will need is a flower. Now, this can be a flower from your house. It can be a flower if you want to go out and get one, or you can get a picture of a flower. So you can use a picture of a flower from the internet or something like that. You need some paper, a pencil, and some paint, some water, and some paintbrushes. If you don't have paint around the house, you can use crayons to do the different shadings, but try and use paint if you've got them. Okay, so let's have a look. So what I've done is I have done my picture of my flower. Now I'm going to show you. Can you see how I've done all of the different petals, and I've thought carefully about all the different shapes that they are and all the pollen in the middle. I'm going to show you which flower I've drawn. I have drawn that one there. Can you see? So I'm going to have to keep showing you the flower because it's all different, beautiful colours. But this flower, have a look. Can you see what colours it is? Good, it's pinks, and you can see there's lighter areas and there's also darker areas as well, which are further away. In the yellow, we've got a bit of middle, sorry, in the middle, we've got a bit of yellow pollen. Okay, so I'm going to have a go now at painting my thing to show you. So I've got my watercolour paints here, and I'm going to use these two colours there and then mix them with a bit of white. Now I've cleaned my lid because I'm going to mix them in my lid. So get a bit of water. I've also got some tissue here, which I cleaned my lid with, but it's a tissue to dab my colour on to make sure that I'm getting the right colours. So we get a tiny bit of water on our paintbrush. I'm going to mix this pinky colour here. I have to keep mixing it. Oops. Okay, I'm going to put a little bit of it on here. I'm also going to mix it with a bit of red because it's quite a bright pink. It's not actually very light. Oh, sorry, can you see? So the darker bits, I'm actually going to do really dark red, reddy pink, a tiny bit of pink, perhaps even a tiny bit of black. Get really dark pink. And I'm going to do the darker pink around the edges because some of the edges have dark pink. So I'm keep looking, you can't see me, but I keep looking at my flower and keep thinking about all of those edges. So round here, around the outside, these are further away, so they're actually very dark, these edges. So you keep looking here around this edge. I've got a crease in the middle of this petal. So I'm actually going to do that in a really dark colour. I have to keep dabbing it. Let's get a bit of red, a little tiny bit of black to make sure that crease really stands out. Here, this one's also got a crease. So can you see I'm outlining them first before I go in with my lighter colours? You can even, to help you, use different size paintbrushes. I'd recommend because they can help you with all the detail bits. So this one I might use for the pollen in the middle in a minute. So let's carry on with my creases here. Crease in this petal. Now I'm rushing, but I'm sure you can take a little bit more time than I am. This one's got really dark, thick bits at the top. Lines on it. It's almost like I'm sketching out all of those dark pieces first Under here it's quite shadowed, so it's quite dark around this part too. I've got another crease in this leaf here. Sorry, not leaf, petal. Okay, then when I've got all my dark bits, I'd carry on until I got all my dark bits shaded out there. Like underneath this leaf here, petal, I keep calling it a leaf, don't I? So I've got all my dark bits shaded out. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep that same colour, but I'm going to make it lighter again. So I'm going to mix it with a little bit of white. Remember how I taught you as well to clean your paints afterwards, so don't worry if it mixes with the pink just now. Always clean that afterwards. Added a bit too much water there. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is go back over it with my lighter pink. I can blend in those watercolours. I'm thinking about, most of it is a light pink, but there are areas that are even lighter than that. I have to keep mixing my white because I've got some areas in down here that are really light. Okay, so you can see I've started to shade in all those darker areas, and I'm going to go in them with the lighter areas. So I'm going to stop there because I think what you can do, I think you're probably dying to get on with it. So I'm going to let you get on with your painting, and I can't wait to see them all on tapestry, okay? So don't forget to take a picture of your beautiful flowers once they've all finished. And I look forward to seeing them on tapestry. Bye, everyone.